So this is a good question that student hasn't asked directly before via DM, but it's something I talk about quite frequently with my actual students whom I work with over Skype, which is how exactly you should go through High Yield Arrows PDF because it's the most important PDF on my site, okay? And I will link it down below. So before we get started, I will be my typical asshole. Tell you to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Give the video a like. I really appreciate it. Find me on Instagram at Mehlman_medical, MEHLMAN_medical. Link is down below. Find me on Telegram. Recently created a Telegram group and channel. Links are down below. Now I'll start the clip. So the question is, how do we go through high yield arrows? And I've articulated in my prior clips that it's the most important PDF on my site because it's how you can maximize the probability of passing the step 1 exam. I've said that every time a student has an issue passing the step 1, it's because his or her basic understanding of arrows, endocrine, okay? Aldosterone high and low, vasopressin high and low, PTH, vitamin D, DKA, acid base, etc., okay? Shock, arrows. So these concepts, students who have difficulty passing the exam or prior fails on the exam, their concept of the arrows suck jack fucking shit, okay? So you need to go through this PDF. Now, I haven't yet addressed the student's question as far as, well, how do we go through the PDF? Now, very important piece of information, which is the PDF is very difficult to go through. So it's 166 arrows at this point in time. I've thought about making some more, maybe it'll be 170, etc. by the time you see this clip. But the point is, you say, well, should I be doing like a third of the PDF, for 3 days in a row-ish, and then I'm done with it? The answer is no. Maybe 15 to 20 questions per day in high yield arrows. Okay, so it should take you between 8 to 11-ish days to finish the PDF. That's valuable information because, as I said, it's a difficult PDF to go through, and it's not easy to go through many of those questions in a day. The concepts are difficult, especially if your foundation's a bit weaker, okay? So 15 to 20 questions per day in high yield arrows after you've finished QBank for a given day. So one of the common prescriptions that I implement for students is you do your 40 to 80 questions of QBank in a given day. Okay, it's different for every student. 40 to 80 questions from QBank per day in tutor mode, untimed random. And then you can do your 15 to 20 questions in the evenings from high yield arrows. And that's how you knock out that PDF. Okay, and I know that it's difficult to get through that PDF because when I first created the PDF, okay, so I had finished writing it. It took me many, many days to do it. And then I say, well, it's going to be content that I put out, right? It's got my name on it. So I got to make sure it doesn't have any flagrant errors or typos, etc. So I did an edit, just another pass I went through my own PDF, and it took me fucking time to go through it, okay? I'm the one who fucking created it. And it took, I'd say after doing maybe 50 questions of the review, I thought, wow, okay, it takes a lot to stay focused because it's the same way when you're doing QBank. I mean, if you want to do more than 1 to 2 blocks a day, you reach a saturation threshold. That's just normal. So it took me 3 days to review, where I would do maybe 50 questions of the review. And I said, okay, I'm going to work on other stuff now. I'm starting to ADHD the fuck out. So I have that understanding, okay, that when you're going to be going through the PDF, I want you to absorb it. I don't want you to ADHD the fuck out, okay? I don't want you to start checking your phone and procrastinating. 15 to 20 questions per evening is solid. Just stick to it, okay? Make sure you get through high yield arrows. It's to my observation, students have problems getting through the PDF. They find it overwhelming. They might DM and say, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm having trouble getting through high yield arrows. I don't have time for it. I say, don't make fucking excuses. Okay. Students are often in the business of excuse making. I call them out on it. And then Mike's mean. Okay. He's called me out on my bullshit. You need to get through high yield arrows. Okay. You want to pass the exam. You gotta know high yield arrows. So I'll link it down below. You know the deal. I'm going to continue making more content. If you like my stuff, subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate your time. That's it.